All right, welcome back to Le Podcast de Philippe. Today we're doing a deep dive on something pretty cool.
Yeah, this is exciting stuff.
Have you ever, been in a crowded place and wished you could have your own personal audio bubble?
Oh yeah, all the time. Concerts, subways.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, researchers at Penn State University might have just cracked the code on that.
Like all ears.
It's called sound enclaves, and it's like magic but with ultrasound.
Ultrasound, huh? Okay, I'm intrigued.
Basically, they're using these beams of ultrasonic waves. You know, the stuff they use for medical imaging.
Right. Way too high-pitched for us to hear.
Exactly. But here's the wild part. When these beams intersect at a precise point, they create audible sound.
So it's like a tiny little speaker, but only for the person standing in the right spot.
Precisely. It's like a cone of silence, but reversed. Only the person inside the cone can hear it. And before we get too far, quick reminder, if you like these deep dives, hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Help us hit 1,000 subscribers today.
Every little bit helps.
Now, I'm sure you're wondering, how does this even work? Sound usually spreads out everywhere, right? It's not like you can just, point it like a laser pointer.
You're absolutely right. It all comes down to the physics of sound. You see, sound waves tend to diffract.
Diffract, like bend around stuff.
Exactly. Think of it like dropping a pebble in a pond. The ripples spread out in every direction. Sound kind of does the same thing. It's why, even with directional speakers, you still get sound leakage.
So how do these sound enclaves get around that? Are they somehow, trapping the sound?
Not quite trapping, but more like focusing it. They're using these things called ultrasonic transducers.
Transducers. Are those, super fancy speakers?
You could think of them that way.
Yeah.
They're specifically designed to emit ultrasonic waves. So these waves, we can't hear them, but they carry the audio signal. And then they use this really cool thing called an acoustic metasurface.
Okay, now you're just using big words to sound smart.
No, it's actually pretty simple. Imagine a lens, but for sound.
Okay, a sound lens. I'm with you.
This metasurface is carefully engineered to shape the ultrasonic waves, making them bend inward and converge at a very specific point.
So the metasurface acts like, a funnel for the sound waves?
That's a great way to put it. And at the point where the waves converge, boom, audible sound. It's like a tiny little concert just for you.
And this only happens at that one tiny spot, right? Everyone else just hears nothing.
That's the beauty of it. The ultrasonic waves themselves are silent to us. It's only when they interact at that specific intersection point that they generate audible frequencies.
It's like, I don't know, some kind of sonic alchemy. You mix the silent waves and poof, music.
It's all about the nonlinear interaction of those ultrasonic frequencies. Think of it like mixing primary colors of light. Red, blue, yellow.
Yeah, I remember that from art class.
They combine to make all sorts of other colors. Same idea here, but with sound. Two ultrasonic frequencies combine, and boom, you get audible sound. But only in that tiny little zone where they overlap.
This metasurface thing, it sounds like some serious tech.
It is. They're actually 3D printed.
3D printed, like the stuff people make little plastic toys with.
The technology has come a long way. The ones they're using here are incredibly precise. They have these microscopic features, smaller than a millimeter.
So tiny, tiny little details on this sound lens.
Exactly. And those tiny details are crucial for controlling those ultrasonic waves. It's how they create those self-bending beams that focus the sound so precisely. It's the work of a researcher named Xiaoxing Xie at Lawrence Livermore Laboratory. Pretty brilliant stuff.
So they've got the theory, they've built these things. But does it actually work? I mean, have they actually tested this out with, real people?
Oh, they wouldn't just stop at theory. They did some really cool experiments to prove it. They actually used a mannequin for this.
A mannequin, like a department store dummy.
Yeah, but this one was outfitted with microphones in its ears. So they put the mannequin in the path of these ultrasonic beams and measured the sound levels.
And drumroll, please. Did it work?
Oh, yeah. The sound was crystal clear at the intersection point, but almost non-existent, just a few centimeters away, really localized.
So you're telling me I could be standing right next to someone blasting their music and I wouldn't hear a thing?
If they were in a sound enclave, pretty much. And it even works in rooms with lots of echoes and stuff. They tested it in a reverberant environment, with hard surfaces and all that.
Wait, so even with sound bouncing around everywhere, the enclave still works?
It does. It's pretty remarkable. And it's not just echoes. Even if there's furniture or people in the way, the ultrasonic waves can sort of navigate around them.
This is starting to sound less like science and more like straight up science fiction.
I know, right?
So if this tech is as good as it sounds, where could we actually see it being used?
Oh, the possibilities are mind-blowing. Think about museums. Instead of those clunky audio guides, you could have a personalized narration that follows you as you walk around.
That would be so cool. Like the exhibits come alive as you approach them.
Exactly. And imagine conferences or movie theaters.
Yeah.
You could get translations or commentary beamed right into your ear, no headphones needed.
Yeah, no more fumbling with those cheap, scratchy headphones.
And think about accessibility for people with hearing impairments. The sound could be tailored to their specific needs, making it much easier to hear in challenging environments.
Wow, this could be a real game changer for folks who struggle to hear in public spaces.
Absolutely. And we can't forget about security and privacy. Imagine being able to transmit sensitive information in, like, a hospital or a bank without anyone else overhearing.
Yeah, like a doctor could discuss a patient's case right in front of them, but no one else would be the wiser.
Precisely. And in, say, a crowded airport, they could send targeted alerts to specific individuals without causing a general panic.
That would be a huge improvement over those, like, blaring PA announcements that no one can understand anyway.
You said it. And let's not forget about entertainment. Imagine playing a video game where the sound changes depending on where you are in the virtual world.
Oh yeah, like you walk past a waterfall and suddenly, whoosh, you're surrounded by the sound of rushing water.
And what about augmented reality and virtual reality? Think about how immersive those experiences could become with highly localized sound.
It's like the sound would be part of the environment, not just coming from your headphones. That would be wild.
And think about the possibilities for targeted advertising. Stores could send you promotions as you walk by specific products without bombarding everyone with noise.
Okay, that one might be a little creepy, but I get the point.
It's all about creating personalized sound experiences.
This all sounds incredible, but I'm guessing there are still some kinks to work out. What are the limitations of this technology right now?
Well, the biggest one right now is range. The effective distance is only about a meter.
So you got to be pretty close to the source.
For now, yeah. And the volume is limited too. It's about as loud as a normal conversation.
So no rock concerts in a sound enclave just yet.
Not quite. But the researchers are working on improving both the range and the intensity. They're also developing portable systems. So you could, like, take your personal sound bubble with you.
So imagine like a little device that creates a sound enclave around you wherever you go. That's pretty futuristic.
It is. And think about how much quieter public spaces could become.
Yeah, no more people blasting music on their phones or having loud conversations on speakerphone.
We can only hope.
So to wrap things up, the benefits of sound enclaves are pretty clear. More privacy, no more headphones, less noise pollution, super immersive audio, and the potential for portable, personalized sound zones.
It's really a whole new paradigm for how we think about sound.
It's like, instead of broadcasting sound everywhere, we're learning to focus it like a beam of light.
It's about giving you, the listener, more control over your sonic environment.
So we've explored the science behind sound enclaves, their potential applications, and even some of the ethical considerations they raise.
It's a technology that could really change the world.
It really could. And for you listening, here's something to ponder. How do you think sound enclaves will change the way we interact with audio in the years to come? It's a question worth thinking about. Thanks for joining us for this fascinating deep dive here on Le Podcast de Philippe.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time.